Welcome back to the Successful Diligence podcast. I wanted to make sure that you were aware of how valuable you are to us and me here at Successful Diligence as a listener of the podcast. It means so much that you allow me to provide value through the podcast and that you listen and you show up and you invest your time. It means the world to me and I so appreciate it. One way that you can show your appreciation for the podcast, if you've gotten any value from anything we've ever said is you can support us financially so that we can continue to provide the value that you've come to know from the Successful Diligence podcast. And it can be literally less than a cup of coffee a day, 99 cents per month. That's less than $1 per month, all the way up to $5, $10, however much you want to give. But as little as $1, less than $1, 99 cents, that would make such a difference to us. You can go to the show notes and you can click the link where listener support is highlighted. There's different links in the show notes, or you can go to anchor.fm/successful diligence /support, and you can sign up there, and literally it's one time per month, 99 cents, less than a cup of coffee, and yet you would be having an impact on supporting this podcast to bring more value, reach more people, to have a greater impact in the world. And we appreciate in advance any support that you're able to provide. Again, anchor.fm/successful diligence /support, or you can click the link in the show notes and show your support financially. We appreciate it and we thank you in advance. Today I want to talk very briefly about the concept of paying your dues. I want you to know that no matter what level of success you're reaching for, no matter what goal you're reaching for, no matter what you're trying to accomplish in your life, there will be a season that you will have to pay your dues. And what do I mean by paying your dues? I mean earning the authority to walk in the success that you earn, to walk in the authority of the person that you develop into, the authority to own what you know and your experience, to be able to pass it on to someone else with effectiveness and with clear authority. And it's something that is not what people like to hear all the time. And even if you're like a hard worker and have a high work ethic, sometimes you don't want to pay your dues. You don't want to go through those tough seasons. You don't want to have to work super late and do things that nobody else will do. But I'll tell you, if you pay the price in that season with a positive attitude, number one, it makes it go by a little bit easier. And if you maintain a posture and a mentality of gratitude, it definitely helps you get through that season. And it seems to go by a little quicker, even if it doesn't in reality go quicker, but it just helps the time pass if you have that posture of gratitude. And it makes it a little bit easier to go through and see the light at the end of the tunnel, because everything comes to pass. Everything that happens in a season does not last forever. Things come, things go. One thing that is sure in life that you can 100% count on is that things will change and time will pass. You will never experience the same moment, because the minute you experience it, it becomes the past. You are always living in the present. The future hasn't happened yet. The past has already happened. All you have is right now. And how you respond in your right now determines your future. And it determines what you set yourself up for in the future. And I'll tell you, if you pay the price well, you'd be surprised at people that you're not aware of that are watching you or taking note of your season of paying the dues and paying the price. There are people who will notice your sacrifice. And even if they don't notice your sacrifice, when you get out of that season and you accomplish that goal and you have that authority of knowledge and skill and wisdom and experience that you can pass on, when you talk to other people about it, when you pass on those strategies and skills and wisdom and knowledge, you can do so with authority because you lived it and you own it. And I'll tell you, it's not easy. Right now, I'm in a paying the dues season, and it is not easy. But what is so interesting to me is that I'm being shown people who are levels above me, people who are in avenues of leadership that in the past I used to be very disappointed by. So I am very passionate about leadership. I'm extremely passionate about effective leadership and good leadership because I've experienced and seen such poor leadership and the impact that it has on people. And so I've always been very passionate about leadership. And I've noticed that as I pay my dues in this season and walk through this season with a posture of gratitude and a positive attitude and, constant positive self-talk and reframing and just gathering up those wisdom nuggets, those skills, those knowledge, those strategies, those tools in my toolbox, I'm being exposed to higher levels of leadership, which is where I'm learning a lot of new things, which I love. I love to learn and be a sponge and soak it up. And what's fascinating is that I'm being exposed to positive, effective leadership. And I'm so grateful for that because it encourages me to keep pushing and keep going through the challenges because I can see an example ahead of me. So I encourage you, if you're in a season of paying your dues, if you're walking through challenges and you're walking through a season where you're, it feels like it's never ending, look around you and see if you can observe examples of where you want to go or examples that you can learn from and glean from. It will encourage you to keep going. It will encourage you to even have a greater vision or expansion of your vision because you don't know what you don't know. And when you're exposed to new things, new arenas open up because you can't unknow something. Excuse me. So when you're exposed to something greater, that knowledge and that exposure stays with you because you cannot unknow it. Once you know something, you know it. Once you see something, you've seen it. You can't unsee it. And that is a gift. And you can utilize that information however you choose to, and you can incorporate it in a positive way to edify you and to serve you well for where you're going, the person you're developing into, the levels of success you're reaching for, and it will serve you well. So I hope that you found some value in this. I encourage myself during it's that's one of the positive secondary gains of doing the podcast, especially talking about concepts that I'm actively implementing. I'm hoping that it benefits someone that's listening and brings value to you, but it's also bringing value to me and benefiting me. So if I'm only reaching one person besides myself, then I'm happy. I hope that I'm reaching more than that. But if you benefit from anything that I've said during season 2, if you've gotten any value, please reach out. Send us a voice message. You can click the link at the bottom of the show notes to leave us a voice message. Send us an email at successfuldiligence.com/contact. That's the contact us page, and you can send an email. We'd love to have your support. If you click on the show notes where it says support, you can support us financially. Less than $1 a month. That's less than 1 cup of coffee a month. 99 cents a month. We would greatly appreciate it. And even if you do nothing else but subscribe and listen to the episodes and listen to the podcast, We appreciate and value that so much. It really does my heart good to know that people are listening and getting value and the feedback is positive. And I just so appreciate you continuing to support us, even if it's just by listening to the episodes and getting value from each and every concept that we share and the tips and tools and strategies and all of the great stuff that we aim to bring value to you, doing the podcast. So I hope that you found some value. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a wonderful day. As always, keep walking. And as you keep walking, maintain a posture of gratitude. Always choose gratitude. It will serve you well. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way for you to make a podcast. It's free. The creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. So easy to use. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so that it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many, many more platforms. You don't have to upload. They do it all for you. You can also make money from your podcast, cha-ching, with no minimum listenership. I started making money with my first episode. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Just go to your app store and download the free Anchor app, or you can go to anchor.fm to get started now. Anchor FM and get your podcast started.